What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers have been dealing with injuries since the start of the season. I mean, you've had several guys in and out of the lineup. You've had guys like Taurean Prince, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes. The list just goes on and on for guys that have missed multiple games or even the entirety or most of the season thus far, right? And obviously that hurts and impacts the Lakers in multiple ways, right? One, how do we know exactly what this team looks like, how good this team could potentially be? The Lakers have a winning record despite all of these injuries and issues. On top of that, you have running short rotations, which make tired legs. Lakers have had a lot of back-to-backs thus far this year. They also have the most back-to-backs this year, which doesn't help the Lakers, right? Especially with all the injuries and issues, and you don't want to start running down and wearing down guys and stuff. Obviously, the defense has suffered because pretty much all of the key injuries have all been defensive guys, right? Cam Reddish is missing at the time. Gabe Vincent, who is supposed to be our best point of attack guard, best defensive guard. Jared Vanderbilt is our best defender, not named Anthony Davis, and arguably, if not the best on-ball perimeter defender in the league. And despite that, the Lakers have been top 10, top 11 defensively. All of those things are obviously huge factors for the Lakers. Now, I don't think all of the Lakers' issues are necessarily just snap fingers, everyone's back healthy, and we're good. Could be, right? Chemistry, building that team and that understanding can go a long way. So maybe they kind of do move into that and they do become a different team. But I also think there's no excuse for the lack of effort by this team. The fashion in which they're losing games, they're not losing close games. They're getting completely blown out in most of their losses. And it's just like, it's frustrating, right? But I do believe that this team has a real opportunity. I still think that they are one of, not the deepest teams in the league. They're dealing with more injuries than anybody, right? And how many teams could be missing 4 or 5 key rotation guys? Right, you're not talking about guys 15th man at the end of the bench, like Jalen Hood-Schifino, right? Like that isn't really that significant. But Jared Vanderbilt is massively significant. Gabe Vincent is massively significant, right? Taurean Prince and Rui Hachimura and all these guys, key rotation guys that are supposed to be getting significant minutes for the Lakers are all out. Well, we've been waiting to hear all the reports, updates in regards to players like what's going on with Rui, Vando, everybody like that. We got news that is circulating that only Gabe Vincent has been ruled out of Saturday's game against the Rockets so far. So that means Gabe Vincent is the only one not set to return. So that means Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish, all of the guys that are currently on the report, all could be returning. Doesn't mean that they will be returning, right? Obviously, between now and Saturday, when we go take on the Houston Rockets, we'll see. We'll see how the progression goes for some of these guys. We'll see how things look. Do they still rest these guys for precaution, for just safety, just to make sure like guys are healthy and guys are ready, especially because the game following that is against the Phoenix Suns in the in-season tournament knockout round, and it'd be nice to kind of get everybody back. But this is great news, right? This is huge positive news for the Lakers because this puts the Lakers in a position to where, okay, we're starting to get guys back, starting to get key guys back. I want them back for the Rockets game. So guys like Jared Vanderbilt, who hasn't played yet this year, Rui Hachimura, who's missed couple games, right? These guys can start to kind of get their game legs under them and start to kind of get their timing down and all that stuff rather than, hey, guess what? We got to play the Phoenix Suns and Jared Vanderbilt, you get to guard Kevin Durant, and you haven't played all season. So your timing's a little off. Your legs aren't really there yet. Like I want to get a game at least. I would have liked 2 or 3, but I'll settle for a game where everybody's back, everyone's good, everyone's healthy, outside of Gabe Vincent, of course, and we're off to the races. Go get that win against the Rockets, and then let's go build a new win streak against the Phoenix Suns, which is an in-season tournament game, which the Lakers have really pulled up the effort right? And pulled out the energy for those in-season tournament games. So I really like, this is fantastic, especially Jared Vanderbilt. Obviously, Rui and Hayes and Reddish and those guys, we need them back too. But Jared Vanderbilt, I think, will have a huge impact. He's not the cure-all, right? He's not going to come in and fix all of our issues. But I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, you really think Jared Vanderbilt is going to have that big of an impact? Like, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he did last year. The Lakers went from middle of the pack defensively to the best defensive team just with Jared Vanderbilt. Lakers thus far this year are kind of teetering in the 10 to 11 best defensive team in the league. You don't think Jared Vanderbilt's going to make them at worst top 5? Like, that's a huge impact because now you're leapfrogging 5, 6, 7 other teams defensively. Also, offensively, Jared Vanderbilt's going to have a big impact, right? He's not the greatest shooter. He's not the greatest scorer. We'll see how his shooting looks because we don't really have much of a sample size. The only sample size that we have is a one preseason game in which he was 2 of 3 from 3, which is a good sign. But obviously, we don't really know, is he going to be able to provide significant, consistent scoring? But he does impact the offensive side beyond shooting the basketball, right? Getting rebounds, both offensively and defensively. Give us more shot attempts. Give us more opportunity, which lead to higher point totals. The Lakers have also been one of the worst teams in the league as far as giving up second chance points and offensive rebounds to opposing teams. Jared Vanderbilt's going to help in that regard. The energy we've talked about has been a concern. There's no question about Jared Vanderbilt and his energy. So he's going to come in and he's going to provide that. And if he does that, energy can be contagious. Right? You see a guy like Vando just everywhere on the court, it makes everyone else have to elevate and pick themselves up. Right? Getting defense, right? Creating turnovers, creating steals, right? Deflections, all those things lead to transition points, lead to other opportunities on the offensive side, which leads to higher point totals. Jared Vanderbilt is absolutely going to impact our offense and especially the defense. And going into that in-season tournament game, if we could have Vando and Reddish back, that would be huge because then you could throw one on KD and one on Devin Booker and try to slow them down as much as possible. Because obviously, look, you're never going to stop those guys, but can you slow them down, make them work, make it harder on them? If you're playing the Suns, right, Kevin Durant, even if he gets 30, can you hold them to 45% rather than 50%? That could be the difference between you winning and losing the game. So I definitely think once we get these guys back, it's going to be huge for just the team morale, starting to put the pieces together to build chemistry. Hopefully this little injury bug starts fading away. Look, we've been the most injury-riddled team in the league thus far. We're the deepest team in the league, and I still believe that, but no team is 4 or 5 rotation, not guys at the end of the bench. Like Jalen Hood-Schifino being out wasn't that impactful, but missing 4 to 5 of your key rotation guys, 4 to 5 of your top 8 guys, any team in the league would be struggling. And the fact that we're 11-9, I do think is a positive. I do have my frustrations. I do have my issues with the Lakers thus far, but still, I do look at the glass half full in this regard, right? Rui Hachimura is going to help on the offensive side. He's been very consistent and very solid. You can make an argument, considering the inconsistency in minutes, that Rui Hachimura has been our most consistent guy, not named LeBron James. Rui has been fantastic for the Lakers. So can he keep that up? Can he come in and provide some stride and be well? Because he's a big mismatch for various teams and can create an impact. Right now you got defensive guys, you got the offensive guys, you got all of these pieces all coming together to add to the guys that we already have that have been well. That takes pressure off of them, that kind of cuts guys' minutes back because now we don't have to run 7 guy rotations and stuff, right? it puts the Lakers in a better position, in a better spot. And I think that this is great news, but as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think this is fantastic news? Again, I want to say again, this doesn't mean that they're all going to return, right? It just means that thus far, only Gabe Vincent's been ruled out, which is a sign in the right direction. That's a good sign. But that doesn't, I don't want people thinking oh, that's it, everyone's back, and then they're not come Saturday. So just something to keep in mind. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.